Hey guys, it's me Makai. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. In today's video, I have another one for you guys. So I'm going to be debunking planets and the whole theory behind planets and what we've been taught. I don't know about you guys, but I know when I was like in elementary school, I think it was, I was being taught the planets and the 8 planets in the solar system and the galaxies and the universe, and all that. The solar system, basically, we were being taught that. And then also when I was getting out of high school and started to get older, I saw the more theories and the more ideologies on how there's like aliens and more life out there, and also different galaxies. Like there's supposed to be there's supposed to be all these Milky Ways and all of these galaxies out there, and we're just supposedly not the only ones. But I'm just here to debunk that because God brought me to the truth, and I'm here to bring you guys back, to the truth, and just sharing, the knowledge I've gained from the Lord. This is all from the Lord. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, that's it. You guys buckle up, sit back, relax, because we're about to get into it. And also, I just want to say shout out to the people who are understanding and who have an open mind, even if you disagree with me. Shout out to y'all. Having an open mind is key in life in general. It's really, a good thing to have. It helps you from a lot of, trouble, basically. But shout out to y'all, even if you do disagree, and even the ones who are not commenting and, not saying anything but disagree or whatever, shout out to y'all. Shout out to the ones who just, have an open mind, and even to the ones who understand, and, because it's just like, and shout out to the people who comment and who watch my video and who like and stuff like that. So shout out to all y'all, okay? But, yeah, I just wanted to say that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so yes, planets, there is no such thing as planets, basically. There is no, the planets that we were taught, they are not planets, they are stars. And there are not 8 planets, there are 7 stars. And Earth is not a planet. Earth, it says in God's word that Earth is the dry land that God created whenever he made, and in the beginning. It's the dry land. That's it. That's all. We are in a vault, in a space. I wouldn't necessarily call it it is a universe. It is but the way they make it seem is like we're in this galaxy or something. I don't know, but we're in this space that God created, right? And so God created the dry land, he created the seas, he created the heaven. Now each is separate. The dry land is earth, the seas are the seas, and the heavens are the heavens. Now the heavens up above can refer to the sky. God created a vault. It says that in Genesis 1, you can go back. God created a vault in the sky for the birds and the clouds and the rain and all that you see when you go outside, when you walk out your door, right? Now, there's another vault, there's another space above the sky, which is where the planets, the stars, the 7 stars, the 7 big stars that we see or that we know of, that's where the stars dwell, all the stars, even the planets that we've been taught, and just all the types of stars, because God's word tells us of the type of stars that are in that vault, in that space that I just described. And it also says that's where God dwells. So that's also, heavens can mean the afterlife, and basically just that's where God dwells, period. He that's where he dwells, and he looks down upon us and is with us. It says that in Isaiah, I think 40:22. So I'm going to be going over basically that vault right above the sky where all the stars, the sun, even the sun and the moon, but I'm not going to be going over the moon and the sun because that's just, we know that the sun is used for, for the light. God even says that in his word, the sun was used for the light and the moon was used for the darkness, to separate the two. So, yeah, we're going to be going into it and how, the 7 big balloons basically in the sky, they're not planets, they're stars, and they're actually there for us. They're actually a gift to us from God, just to basically give us signs and to know that he's there, to show his glory and his sovereignty, and to know that he's there, he's the creator. It's basically a gift to us, these big balloons, these big 7 balloons in the sky, or in the heavens. So and I think it's Deuteronomy, I forget, but Deuteronomy tells us that, he warns us, he tells us specifically not to take what he given us as signs and wonders in the sky. He tells us specifically, do not take them and make them, basically making them idols, which we have done that with zodiac signs. You see that with just different things. Us humans, of course, have basically tampered with it, tainted it, and made it bad, because that's what God tells us not to do, because that takes us off the focus of God onto these demonic ideologies, because all of it is demonic. All of it is idolizing the wrong thing, and we should be going back to the Lord and glorifying him, because he's the one who created these things. So yes, they're actually a gift to us from God for signs and wonders, in the heavens for us. So it says that in Genesis 1-4, says that in Genesis chapter 1:14. It says, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, meaning in the midst of heaven, what I just described. In the midst of heaven, he's meaning the sky, because like I said, there's different meanings to heaven, but you got to see the context of what God's talking about. So in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. So he's talking about the sun and the moon too, because that also, these things are letting us know, he's giving us these things for seasons, for days, and for years, stuff like that. It says, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. So once again, these are stars, these are lights in the sky for us, just to have, there's many reasons, as we see, that God has given us these big balloons in the sky. There's many reasons. So one of them is the lights. He's given us lights in the sky so that we can have, of course, for lights, because we need lights, So, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights. So now he's talking about the moon and the sun. The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So this is where he's telling us he's making the stars also. So I'm going to go into each star and what, because God describes each star in his word. But I'm just trying to get to the beginning, guys. So he said he made the stars also. And then it says, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven. Ooh, y'all. I'm sorry. Actually, when I'm reading this, it's actually giving me more insight. I don't know. I'm getting a whole new thing going on right now. But it says, and God set them. So basically, once again, he's telling us what these are in the sky. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. So he made that on the 4th day. All right. So now we're going to go into the stars and what each star means. Because as you see, and when you go outside or whatever, you see that there are also these little tiny stars. There are also big stars. There's many stars. There's the 7 big balloons that we see that I'm talking about, which they say are planets. but those are stars. So there's those stars, you got the little stars. There's different kind of stars that God made. So we're going to be going over it. And it talks about that in Job 38, 31 to 32. Okay, so the first star is Pleiades. And I might be butchering these words, guys, so I'm sorry. I'll leave them on the screen. But Pleiades is the first star that he mentions. Excuse me. But translated in Hebrew, translation means 7 stars, a cluster. And in other definitions, it means a cluster of grapes. So, and it says 7 stars. Like I told y'all, Earth is not a planet. These are not even planets. The word planet, we just need to get that out of our minds. These are not planets, these are stars that God made for us to light up the sky and in the firmament of the heaven, as I just told y'all in these verses. But anyways, so Pleiades, once again, translation is 7 stars. Now, there's another, and it also says a cluster. And then there's another translation that says a cluster of grapes. So when you look up these planets, they're in a cluster of grapes, right? So when we look at a cluster of grapes, they're all on one vine, or they're just a cluster. And grapes, we know, they're either, sometimes they're all the same looking, or some of them might be a little bit smaller, some of them might be a little bit big, some of them might be different in color. They might have a lighter color than the other one. They have just a little bit of different similarities, right, going on. Well, if you look at the planets also, even though they're all the same thing, they're all round, they all are the same thing, they're all in a cluster, all in the same space, they're a cluster of the same thing, but they all have just a little bit, different, a little bit different going on, just like a cluster of grapes. So that's what the 7 planets are. They are the Pleiades that is described in the Bible, the 7 stars. Okay, now the next thing is the Orion belt. So when you look it up in translation, it means a giant angel, which means that these are the stars that make up, because if you see in the it also tells us in God's word that these stars will make up for signs. So God's going to give us signs. And it also says in God's word how he uses the stars to write messages to us. That's how they even came up with astrology, because when they looked up in the sky and they saw the Taurus and the woman and all these different illustrations in the sky, they took that though and they made it vain, basically. They made it opposite of what God wanted. They took it and they basically just made it bad, and it's God's way of giving us signs and wonders. It says in his word that his handiwork is in the heavens. So he's always, giving us signs and stuff in the heavens. He's always writing in the heavens and stuff like that. So the Orion's belt means a giant angel. So some stars will make out to be a giant angel, or some stars will, form or even be a giant angel, because God has sent his angels to watch over us. You see that throughout the Bible that, his angels, he sends angels to watch over us and stuff like that. And that's where some of his angels that he has sent dwells. They dwell in the heavens. They dwell up there in the 4 corners of the earth. They dwell up there and watch over, the earth. So that's the Orion's belt. And if you see, another thing to go along with that is that God translates the stars a lot with the angels. He correlates the two a lot, describing the angels as the stars in the sky and stuff like that. So that's also another clue that these are angels in the sky, watching over us. Okay, so the next star is Mazzaroth. Mazzaroth means constellations. Now this is another thing where the stars make up figures. They make up figures, like I just said about the bull, the Taurus, all the astrology, how they took that and basically tainted it and made it wrong. That's the constellations, how they make up stuff. And this is when what I was saying, how God is, how he gives us messages and signs in the sky, how he writes in the sky, and his handiwork is in the sky. He gives us messages and stuff, and that's what these constellations are made up of, messages and signs and stuff. So that's another type of star. And it talks about that in Psalms 19, if you want to read that. Okay, so yeah, that was really it, you guys. And I also just want to say that the word planet came from the Greeks, who, of course, they got it from somewhere, but it's always meant the same thing. But when the settlers came over to America, they basically made it up their own, but they took it from the Greeks, which was called planes. And their definition was a wanderer, or a wandering star. And that's where the settlers who made the word planet took it from and made it planet. And of course they made up their own definition way, but that's where they took it from, was a wanderer, a wandering star, which is exactly what the 7 stars up above, in the sky do. They wander. They're just there, wandering like a wanderer. So the word planet, just comes, they made that up. They just came up with that. So, but it always meant a star. It always meant a star because that's where they got it from. They got it from the Greeks, and the Greeks got it from, of course, somewhere. I'm not quite sure where they got it from, but the same, it's always meant the same thing, except for whenever they made it planet, they took it to be something else. Their own ideology. So, that's really it, you guys, for today's video and for the planets. I thought it was going to be a longer video, but, okay, guys, actually, I forgot some other things. So, there's actually another name in the Bible called Arcturus. And it says that in Psalms 147, 4-5, how the Lord has named all of the stars. So that's why I went over all the stars and all the names that he's, I went over all that. But there's another one I forgot, which is Arcturus. And that is just basically the stars that are created, that are just there for the lights in the sky, because there are also stars out there that just are just there, for whatever reason, just for the light in the sky. And that's why there's so many, stars, like, because not every star is making up a constellation, or not every star is doing something. Some of them are just there. Some of them are literally just stars that are created for light in the sky. So that's what Arcturus is. And also, I wanted to say the most important thing is the number 7. So if you see, once again, God, created only 7 stars. And I'm meaning the 7 big balloons whenever I'm referring to the 7 stars. He only created these 7 big stars. Now, if you don't know, God uses the numbers a lot in his word. And number 7 is used a lot too throughout his word. And the number 7, just like, when God created the earth in 7 days, everything was completed in 7. That's what usually the number 7 is it means like complete, like done, like it's like chef's kiss. It's like God's signature in the sky. Like, it's just like his signature. That's how the best way I can describe it. It's like his signature by just doing only 7 stars, 7 big stars. He could have done 8, 9, 10. He could have done 5, but he did 7. So I just want to put that out there too, that that's another sign that this is God's glory. This is him and his doing. So, yeah. But with that being said, you guys, bye. That's it. So if you guys have any questions or anything that I maybe missed or anything you want to leave down below, please leave them down below, you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. Please like and subscribe. And let me know if you want to see, what you guys want to see next. Comment below. Let's chit chat. Do what you gotta do. Share this. Also follow me on my social medias. And I've been getting my TikTok name wrong, you guys. This whole entire time I've been putting my wrong TikTok in the description box, but I got it right this time. So if you want to follow me on there, you can, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Everybody have a good day. Bye.